Good afternoon, fellow Caribbean and Latin American news audience. Welcome back to another session, and we hope that you will like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Now, this afternoon's topic that we'll be dealing with is who really controls Trinidad's foreign policy, Port of Spain or Washington, D.C.? Now, as US influence spreads deeper into the Caribbean, many are asking who really controls Trinidad's foreign policy, Port of Spain or Washington, D.C.? From energy deals to Venezuela and BRICS, the lines between national interest and US strategy are blurring fast. In this special report, we break down the quiet diplomatic shifts that could redefine Trinidad's role in the region and what it means for Caribbean independence in a changing world. Please subscribe, like, share, and subscribe. Now, we understand that there are warships from China and from Russia in the Caribbean waters. So obviously, there is going to be a showdown between the BRICS nations, at least Russia and China, and the United States over Venezuela. Who is going to be the ultimate victor? And who is going to be the owner of the natural resources of Venezuela and by extension, the region? Because this war is going to be the wars of all wars that will depend who is going to rule this nation, China, Russia, Iran, or the United States of America, the superempire that we have been speaking about. Now, we have to be watching these matters and these developments very carefully and ensure that we do not get so much caught up in the emotionalism and the sentimentalism that we often see being propagated in the region. I see a lot of our YouTubers or Caribbean YouTubers just writing all of these or publishing all of these videos of which they're not certain about. Like they were saying not Venezuela, Grenada has said no to US, and that is not true because the Grenadians have not yet, the Prime Minister of Grenada has not yet decided if he's going to give the United States the facilities for at the Maurice Bishop International Airport to install their radar equipment for the war on Venezuela. All right, that has not yet been given. That green light has not yet been given. But you have YouTubers, and they are attracting hundreds of thousands of views who are suggesting that the Grenadian Prime Minister and the Antiguan Prime Minister have said no. And that is not true. All right. And it's time for us now to think seriously and not just spread information because we want views. We've got to try to reason because this is a very serious matter and we can't play with the lives of people. But talking about who controls foreign policy, there was a special article in the Guardian newspaper, the Trinidad Guardian, this morning, a very interesting story. It says here, foreign policy under scrutiny as TNT aligns with US on Bolivia. TNT's decision to co-sign a joint statement with the United States and several Latin American countries congratulating Bolivia's new president has sparked debate about the direction of TNT's foreign policy and its alignment within CARICOM. Former Jamaican ambassador international relations consultant, that's Curtis Ward, described the move as unusual and precedent-setting, and I quote, I find this alignment of a small number of conservative governments, which the TNT government has joined, to congratulate the election of a center-right conservative government in Bolivia should give other CARICOM members pause, Ward said. While it is normal in diplomatic circles to congratulate a successful candidate, it is highly unusual and probably unprecedented for a joint statement to be issued by like-minded governments. Most countries don't even go that far. War suggested this decision signals further evidence of solidarity with the United States and could represent an erosion of a unified foreign policy within CARICOM. So this is what Trinidad is now bearing away from the Caribbean bloc, okay? And they are now fully aligned with the United States. So Trinidad is no longer a part of the non-aligned movement and is therefore a proud member, as it were, of the United States foreign policy. That is what Kamala Bissessar is doing in her country. And this is the direction in which she's taking the country. Okay? There is another commentator here who is a former Foreign Affairs Minister, Dr. Amory Brown, went further, accusing the government of undermining TNT's long-standing tradition of sovereign diplomacy. And he or she says here, every day there are further worrying signs that this government has formed out the foreign policy of Trinidad and Tobago, Brown said. Since independence, the normal practice has been for our Prime Minister to issue a letter of congratulations after consultations among CARICOM heads. He added, well, it's a he, not a she. He added, instead, our government co-signed a statement drafted and issued by the U.S. Department of State, a statement that even comments on internal political matters within Bolivia. This is not something Trinidad and Tobago has associated itself with since independence. So it seems that everything that Kamala Bissessar is doing, it seems to me that she is taking her narrative from the U.S. playbook, from the U.S. State Department, and she is no longer steering independently the ship of Trinidad and Tobago. Okay? Senior international relations expert Dr. Anthony Gonzalez of the University of the West Indies urged the government to pursue a policy of positive non-alignment, balancing national interests without becoming entangled in global power struggles. And I quote, this is what Dr. Is he doctor, the expert there? Yes, he's Dr. Anthony Gonzalez. And I quote, the government is still saying it wants to talk to Venezuela, Gonzalez noted. You cannot have good relations with Venezuela if you appear hostile or supportive of any invasion. And this is what I couldn't understand when she was suggesting, that's Kamala Bissessar, when she was suggesting that she had gotten and she had reestablished the dragon gas license with the United States. I was wondering, how is it that she's going to talk and have bilateral agreement with Venezuela when she's on the side of the United States, an aggressor to Venezuela? You're not going to be able to ink out an agreement. You're just not going to be able to ink out an agreement. And there was a video online in which the vice president of Venezuela was warning Trinidadians about the fact that they will have to pay for every molecule of gas that is bought from Venezuela, that Venezuela renders to it. I'm going to show you that video briefly so that you can watch it to see the repercussions of the United States, of Trinidad rather, the repercussions of Trinidad aligning itself with U.S. foreign policy, which stands to erode the freedoms and also including the economic freedoms of Trinidadians and Tobagoans. So let me share that video with you at the moment. So let me see if I can pull it up here and share the screen, and let's see if there is any sound so that you can listen to it. What's going on here?
La nueva primera ministra, que es la primera ministra de Marco Rubio en Trinidad y Tobago. Y la están envenenando con pajaritos preñados, decimos en Venezuela. No sé cómo es la traducción. Pregnant birds, ¿verdad? Pero no sé cómo decir lo que significa esa expresión. Pajaritos preñados. Marco Rubio le está vendiendo pajaritos preñados a la primera ministra de Trinidad y Tobago. País con quien tenemos acuerdos en materia de gas para exportarle el gas. Si Venezuela no le exporta el gas a Trinidad, colapsa la economía de ese país y va a impactar en el Caribe. El presidente Maduro siempre ha sido muy responsable. Legado del comandante Chávez, lo que fue Petrocaribe para los países del Caribe. Bueno, perturbaron, bloquearon. Estados Unidos bloqueó el programa Petrocaribe. Miren cómo está Haití. Bueno, quieren hacer lo mismo con Trinidad y sus pajaritos preñados. Porque le vendieron la falsa idea de que ellos le van a quitar el gas a Venezuela para regalárselo a Trinidad. ¿Ustedes creen que eso es posible? Pajaritos preñados, ¿verdad? Y yo le hablo desde acá al pueblo de Trinidad y Tobago. Se lo decimos responsablemente. La primera ministra los está llevando por un precipicio al creerle a Marco Rubio de que él le va a poder regalar el gas de Venezuela. El gas de Venezuela lo tienen que pagar cualquier molécula que se exporte, no solamente a Trinidad y Tobago, a otros países vecinos, como tenemos ya planificado. Tiene que pagarse. Esa es la cooperación internacional. Esas son las relaciones comerciales naturales. Lo demás es antinatura. Y no existen. Y la están engañando. Y ella está engañando.
Right. So she's suggesting here that Trinidad and Tobago will have to pay for every molecule of gas that is sent to Trinidad and Tobago. And a lot of this tension is as a result of Kamla's decision to side with the United States in opposition to Venezuela. So what is going to happen now? If, let us say that Maduro should leave office tomorrow, if he should be forced out of office, the US will control the oil and gas fields of Venezuela, and they are going to sell the oil and gas or the gas to Trinidad at a very high cost. And the cost of living is going to go tremendously high in Trinidad. That's what is going to happen. And also, the IMF is going to be coming in and it's going to increase the suffering and the pain, the economic pain of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. This is what is going to happen. If you have been watching, and you need to get a hold of the book by Naomi Klein, who wrote Disaster Capitalism. I read that book years ago. I think that everybody should read a text of how the United States creates disasters, and then it uses institutions like the IMF and the World Bank to suck and to sap the nation of everything that it has. This is what is going to happen to Trinidad and Tobago. So if you think that the United States is your ally and partner, you should have her, but don't think that she's your friend. She's just a partner in business relationship. But you have to do that which is important to you and for the interest of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. But what we see now is that Kamala is pushing the country on you know, a great precipice. Okay, and it's going to create a lot of confusion, suffering, and it's going to result in the untimely death of the economy of Trinidad and Tobago, all because Kamala decided that she is going to work in harmony with US foreign policy. She's treading on dangerous grounds. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and to share and subscribe. Like the video so that you can be shared with as many people on the platform. See you in another one. Ciao.